What's up, bro? How you doing, Billo? How you been? How you? I'm doing great, Billo. How you been, brother? Hello, Miles of CMF Comatose. Good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Camel, good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? XRP news. We do have Ripple news to go through regarding the CLO of Ripple, mentioning some comments regarding Gary Gensler. Tor, good to see you as well. How you doing? Even Miles of CMF. Mike, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Camel, good to see you as well, brother. How you been? So, down or sideways? Down sideways. Down just a little bit, but sideways. I did have a meeting with a club in Belgium. They pay a lot, but I think I will stay in Netherlands. Why not? Whatever the money is. What's going on, Miles? What's up, CMF? Carrie, good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? Good evening, Miles and all CMF. JP, good to see you as well. How you doing, brother? Hi, Miles. Dennis, good to see you as well. How you doing? Manny, evening. Good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? By the way, thanks so much to everyone that's retweeting the live show as well. I'm getting notifications. Thank you so much for that as well. Everyone's retweeting and liking the live show on X. Thank you so much. So, by the time everyone tunes in, we'll go through the gist of what we're going to be talking about on tonight's live show, and then I'll do the intro and the disclaimer about that time. Everybody's tuned in for the first part of the live show. So, on tonight's live show, we are going to be talking about Binance, because Binance has now just reopened their doors essentially to MasterCard. Binance used to have a partnership with MasterCard when CZ was in power, but then the lawsuit essentially ceased operations with MasterCard. And it seems like their contracts are back on. Binance's cryptocurrency bank card is about to be essentially reactivated and be able to. People are going to be essentially be able to use it essentially to do payments and transactions, which is amazing news. Essentially, extremely bullish for Binance. Also, we're going to be talking about the New York Attorney General that's suing a crypto trader by the name of Novatech, who essentially frauded about $1 billion. There's about $1 billion in fraud we're about to be going through tonight's live show as well. In terms of cryptocurrencies, two platforms are now being sued by the New York Attorney General. We're going to be talking about Tether USDT report from JPMorgan. JPMorgan's analyst, Nicholas, has given his perspectives on Tether USDT. We're going to be talking about Pantera. Pantera has just made an investment of $21 million in Menzo's Bitcoin DeFi push, essentially. A lot of things are being developed on Bitcoin's network, trying to make it faster or cheaper in terms of transactions. So it's about $21 million investment that's went into it. We're going to talk about how this investment could help Bitcoin propel itself even further. We're also going to be talking about Bybit on tonight's live show as well. Major news has came out of Bybit, and major news is coming out of China. A while back ago, a few days ago, on this live show, I revealed that China might be opening its doors again to the cryptocurrency world. There's a possibility, there's some rumors going on that China might be opening its doors to cryptocurrencies again. Well, it seems like Bybit is the first exchange to be opening their doors to the Chinese community, essentially to the Chinese people, which could be the first steps. That is China really opening their doors to the crypto space again? We'll go through that, Bybit and China. Then we're going to talk about essentially the US Treasury, how the US Treasury is talking about AI and it's essentially mentioning how AI is going to bring huge opportunities for the US Treasury. Then we're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Ripple CLO. Ripple CLO has questioned Gary Gensler's unlawful enforcement actions publicly. We'll go through his perspective. We're also going to be talking about Telegram today because Telegram has just launched a new payment system, which is going to be excellent for their Ton chain, essentially, which is sitting at number 9, if I'm not mistaken, the top 10 of cryptocurrencies right now, which is absolutely amazing. We're also going to be talking about the ECB. Yesterday, I mentioned that Canada has essentially done their first ever rate cuts. And on yesterday's live show, I said that the ECB is going to go through rate cuts today. Are they going to do it? Are they not going to do it? Is what I said on last night's live show. By the looks of it, the ECB is cutting interest rates for the first time in 5 years also, just same as Canada. These banks are all following each other's footsteps on interest rate cuts, essentially. We're also going to be talking about Kraken Exchange. There's a particular exchange, Kraken Exchange, that's going to be going IPO. Kraken is getting ready to go public, just like Coinbase did, which is major news right now. We're also going to be talking about Jiu-Jitsu, essentially revolutionizing real-world asset transparency and verifications and how they're integrating themselves into BlackRock's iTrust fund. which is absolutely amazing. We'll talk about that regarding real-world assets and BlackRock's fund. We're also going to talk about Franklin Templeton on tonight's live show as well. Franklin Templeton is getting ready to enter into altcoins in their own perspective. We'll go through that as well. They want to go, so Franklin Templeton actually wants to go beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. They want to spread into other assets. We're also going to be talking about Avalanche on tonight's live show as well, regarding Avalanche partnering up with a security firm to enhance their wallets. So Avalanche's network is more secure in terms of wallets. We're also going to be talking about another crypto project on Telegram, essentially. Now, I talked about Toncoin when Toncoin launched with the 900 million users on Telegram, and Toncoin did extremely well. Then I talked about Notcoin, N-O-T, and how the founder of Telegram is not going to be selling his Notcoins, is what I mentioned, and Notcoin did extremely well as well. Well, there's a third coin right now that could potentially be similar to what Notcoin did, and it hasn't launched yet, but it's about to be launching on Telegram's chain, and it already has 100 million users, but no coin, but the coin is about to be launched. But when we get to that news, I'll explain it. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live show regarding Argentina, and how Argentina is about to be closing a deal with Cardano, which is massive news. For Cardano, massive news, absolutely. Also in terms of blockchain, massive news as well. We're also going to be talking about Standard Chartered Bank today. Standard Chartered Bank is predicting that Bitcoin can reach $100,000 before the end of the year also, if something happens. And I'll tell you what that thing is when we get to that news. We're also going to be talking about the American Securities Association that's suing the SEC. The American Securities Association is suing the SEC over lack of transparency. We'll go through that on tonight's live show as well. We're also going to be talking about ACH on tonight's live show as well. ACH is debuting a new rollout development on their own chain, which is going to make it easier for developers to build and expand on their chain. We're also going to be talking about Sandbox today as well, because Sandbox is bringing in seed money and they're getting valued at $1 billion. Metaverse is growing on the side. And we're also going to be talking about another crypto project, well, another company that has entered itself into the Metaverse. Yesterday on this live show, I revealed that IKEA has entered the Metaverse and is paying wages. IKEA is going to be paying £13 an hour to anybody that wants to become an IKEA Metaverse employee. Well, there's another company that's following IKEA's footsteps by the looks of it, and when we get to that news, it's at the end, I'll tell everybody what that company is. By the looks of it, everybody might just be slowly following IKEA's footsteps and paying people to live in the Metaverse on hourly wages. So IKEA was the first one, but now there's another company in town as well, but when we get to that news. But the first news we're going to be going for tonight's live shows regarding Binance and MasterCard reopening their doors together, which is amazing news. Now, before we go through any of that, let's go inside the comment section first, then I'll do the intro, then a disclaimer, and then we get right into the first news. So let's go inside the comment section first. We were here. Manny, good to see you. So how you doing? You have new people listening. Tell them how it goes, Miles. Let's go, Mikul. The facilities are bad. They're in Belgium. They're bad. Good evening, Professor Miles and the rest of the team. Let's go, Funky Brother. How you doing? Does that mean my old Binance card will be working again? Possibly, but maybe you have to order a new one. Good evening, Miles and CMF. Free and forever. Good to see you. How you doing? I fell asleep last night so hard, so I had to catch up today. Thanks for the replies. No problem, Funky Brother. Miles, you really need to do your live shows a little earlier, please. The only reason I do it these times is because, one, it's perfect timing to reach a wide audience, and two, because throughout the day I'm extremely busy, to be fairly honest. But I'll look into it. All right, for Shelley in Australia, as she sees all this during the day. Even Miles the CMF, Jason, good to see you. How you doing? Good day, mate. Dale, good to see you. How you doing? Let's talk about everyone cutting the interest rates around Europe. Yes, we're definitely going to read about it. We're definitely going to go through that news. Even Miles the CMF, Pierce, let's go. How you doing? How you doing, Miles? I'm doing great, Sam. Good to see you as well. Coin, good to see you as well. How you doing? Even Miles the CMF, I missed the Cardano. Yeah, we're going to go through that Cardano news. Evening, Miles and CMF. Orphan, good to see you as well. How you doing? Evening, Pure, good to see you as well. How you doing? Someone who I know lives in Norway. He transfers 65,000 USDT from KuCoin to Revolut. His money got frozen, and Revolut says we won't get back to you in 10 working days. It's keep getting harder to cash out. Well, it's because the only way for me to possibly cash out is either through Uphold, which takes 3 minutes to reach my bank account. But yes, if you are going to be cashing out directly into your bank accounts, then you could be hit potentially with some, freeze situations and temporary freeze situations until they make sure that it's not AML. The only reason the bank will freeze your cryptocurrencies once you transfer to your bank account is because they don't want to fall under AML. Because if they do, then the bank will take responsibility for that action, and then the bank could be, legally obliged to pay some sort of fine to the FCA, for example. Hey CMF, hey Mouse, Stormy, good to see you as well. How you doing? Perfect timing, Stormy. So, Stormy, genuinely perfect time because we're about to go through the intro, disclaimer, and then first news of the live show. Welcome to the CMF live show. If you're watching this for the first time ever, we talk about cryptocurrencies on this live show every single night. We are on X Live and YouTube Live at the exact same time as usual. We talk about cryptocurrencies, recent news that's happening around the world. We talk about cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, regulations, politics, everything that plays in together for this digital world to start off, starting this year. And the disclaimer of this live show is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. And we also do Q&As as well on this live show as well, which means you ask the questions, I give you the answers, and I read everybody's comments one by one inside the comment section. So welcome to the CMF live show if you're new, and if you're regular, let's go CMF. Now the first news to go through on tonight's live show is from Binance and MasterCard, which is amazing news, honestly. Binance and MasterCard resumed their crypto payment deal. Now, when obviously Binance was sued for this temporary situation, MasterCard did end their deal with Binance, and the MasterCard, essentially bank cards that everybody had with Binance, stopped working. However, now it seems that the doors are reopening. Binance Cryptocurrency Exchange has announced their repartnership essentially of MasterCard payments for crypto transactions. According to this post, this strategic move signifies a reward collaboration between one of the world's leading cryptocurrency exchanges and the global payment giant, MasterCard. Binance users can utilize MasterCard for payments and deposits. Binance users can utilize MasterCard to make payments and deposits in cryptocurrencies, marking a crucial step towards the broader adoption of digital currencies. Notably, this service essentially is expected to enhance user experience by providing a seamless and efficient method for funding their crypto accounts. It is important to note that even through payments and deposits are now easier, users can still use MasterCard to make withdrawals on Binance. Binance has reassured its users that this feature will be introduced later, but did not give a specific timeline. Meanwhile, this phased approach indicates that Binance and MasterCard are proceeding together once again, likely addressing regulatory and technical considerations to ensure a secure and compliant integration. Binance and MasterCard deal once ended in August 2023. MasterCard announced it ceases association with Binance following a MasterCard spokesperson. MasterCard and Binance stopped offering all collaborative cryptocurrency card programs in Argentina, Brazil, and Colombia. However, users could make payments in local fiat currencies using MasterCard Binance prepaid crypto cards financed from users' cryptocurrency accounts in the trading platform. Also, members could transfer their Binance assets throughout the wind down duration. And although MasterCard withheld the cause of web publications like Bloomberg suggested, it could have related to the growing regulatory monitoring of the troubled cryptocurrency exchange. Essentially, when Binance was being sued by the SEC and that $4 billion fine came out of nowhere, CZ went to prison. Obviously, MasterCard, before any of those things went down, they ended their relationship, but now they're opening their doors again, which is massive news, honestly. The company is showing interest in crypto payments. In April, payment service provider Stripe reintroduced cryptocurrency payments, which I revealed on this live show as well, which was absolutely bullish. This timeline in stablecoins. Since disconnecting its Bitcoin payment option in 2018, the firm has witnessed improvements in transaction times, decreased fees, and stable performance of stablecoins. As such, Stripe will be essentially beginning to offer payment services using USDC coin and Solana, Ethereum, and Matic on the Matic blockchain, essentially. And as reported essentially on CoinRaise, and in 2023, Ferrari, the renowned luxury sports car manufacturer, unveiled its decision to embrace cryptocurrencies as a valid payment method for its vehicles inside the United States. Furthermore, one of South Africa's biggest supermarkets, Pick n Pay, started accepting Bitcoin as well for payments at its location after the expansion of its pilot program. Also, Balenciaga, Paris-based luxury house, announced it's starting accepting BTC and Ethereum payments as well. And the list just goes on with the amount of companies around the world right now accepting cryptocurrencies. And all this news is coming out mainly because it is big news. Binance and MasterCard once again together working. It's absolutely amazing news. Extremely bullish for cryptocurrencies, extremely bullish for the adoption of cryptocurrencies. And also for anybody that, wanted an easy way to spend their cryptocurrencies, you don't have to send it to your bank account like what's happened with Chillzone, describing the story of somebody, sending $65,000 to their bank account getting frozen with cryptocurrency funds. This is a better solution, which is MasterCard and Binance. Hi, Miles and CMF. George, good to see you. How you doing? Shelly, good to see you. How you doing? Dazzle, good to see you. How you doing, brother? How you been? So, the next news to go from tonight's live show is from the New York Attorney General. The New York Attorney General is suing a crypto trader, Novatech, and claims up to $1 billion in fraud. So we had the FTX situation, we had the Binance situation. Is this going to be the next situation? The New York Attorney General Letitia James has filed a suit alleging that hundreds of thousands of people lost over $1 billion to two crypto firms, overlapping founders. The suit names cryptocurrency trading company Novatech is the founders of Cynthia and Eddie, a cryptocurrency mining company, AWS Mining, and associated individuals and companies as defendants. According to the suit, more than 11,000 New York residents, particularly members of the New York Haitian community, lost tens of millions of dollars by investing into Novatech. The suit alleges that Novatech is a Ponzi scheme and has used religion appeals to attract customers. Novatech also misrepresented its licensing and registration status, the suit alleges. The company was registered in St. Vincent and Gardner's until the country's Financial Services Authority cancelled it in January 2023. The company collapsed in May 2023. And before the founding, Novatech and the members were among the founders of AWS Mining, which closed in 2019. These people did back-to-back Ponzi schemes, but one of them caught up to them. Allegedly, the company was also a Ponzi scheme, but was unable to generate enough income to provide returns it promised. Over $1 billion in cryptocurrencies was deposited in this company between its founding in 2019 and 2023, but only $26 million was traded. The suit alleges that James is seeking damages and to ban AWS Mining, Novatech, and petitions from doing business in New York. James's statement reads, "We are seeing the real dangers of unregulated cryptocurrency platforms with schemes like these, but these New Yorkers can rest assured that we will use the tools at our disposal to crack down on crypto fraudsters." This is something Gary Gensler should be going for. To be very honest, if Gary Gensler wants to do his job, go after actual Ponzi schemes inside the crypto space. There are millions upon millions of Ponzi schemes inside the crypto space. Crypto's not all rainbows and sunshines. We have a good side of crypto and a bad side of crypto. And then also the funny side of crypto, which is meme coins. But the bad side of crypto, there's about millions of projects that are absolute Ponzi schemes. Gary Gensler should be going after them. But instead, he goes after Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, essentially, or Ripple, or, so many essentially lawsuits they've brought up to legitimate side. But it's only because the SEC wants to be able to squeeze money out of Binance. They want to squeeze money out of Kraken and Coinbase and Ripple and so on. They know for a fact they can't squeeze any money out of fraudsters and Ponzi schemers because they have no money. But that's why, essentially the SEC goes after legitimate projects instead of unknown projects. Because believe me, if the SEC knew who was behind Shiba Inu, if the SEC actually knew, let's just pretend Shiba Inu was an actual company based behind it. The SEC would sue Shiba Inu. But the reason why they know who's behind Shiba Inu, they can't sue it. But if they knew who's behind it, they would sue it. The SEC is not here to protect people, it's here to make money for itself. And so is this Letitia James from the New York General, coming after these Ponzi schemes, which is a good idea to go after Ponzi schemes. But yeah, let's just be honest with ourselves. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding JPMorgan. JPMorgan's analyst, Nicholas, is giving his perspectives on USDT Tether now. We'll go through that, but before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. If you're new to this live show, I do news, comments, back to back. Peter, good to see you. How you doing? Oh my goodness, Miles, I spoke out loud, and in my head at the exact same time, you said Gary Gensler should be going after these people and leave Ripple alone. Well, good. Shelly, let's go. Vibe, let's go. I think the new token on Telegram is Hamster. It is. It actually is. And we're going to talk about it as well. But yeah, I mean, good minds think alike. What can I say? Happy Pisces. Let's go. But Tether. Tether's USDT report from JPMorgan. Here is the bank's assessment of USDT. JPMorgan noted in a recent research report that the US crypto regulations are moving in a direction that favors the launch of central bank digital currency CBDCs. Interesting, isn't it? That recently the politicians voted against CBDCs, an anti-CBDC bill, and I obviously said it's never going to stick because the Bank of International Settlements wants CBDCs. But what's interesting is it seems like JP Morgan is also saying that the direction that things are moving towards is actually more like CBDCs, even though there was people voting against an anti-CBDC bill. And again, obviously nobody likes CBDCs, let's just be fairly honest, but it's nothing that we can stop. So JP Morgan noted that in a research report that the US crypto regulations are moving in a direction that favors the launch of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and looks negatively on crypto adoption by local banks and non-compliant stablecoins. The bank notes that regulatory initiatives have increased in the US in recent months, raising questions about the direction of crypto regulations ahead of the presidential elections later this year. Analysts led by Nicholas, who wrote a report and said they are against a coin tied to the Fed against US. Banks dealing with cryptocurrencies against non-compliant stablecoins like Tether USDT and against all tokens other than Bitcoin, BTC, and Ethereum being securities. They are against being classified as such, he wrote. The Financial Innovation and Technology for 21st Century Act passed by the House of Representatives last month still needs to be approved by the Senate, ultimately the President. The bank said this was unlikely to happen before this election. JP Morgan noted that Congress passed a resolution obviously overturning the SAB 121 accounting rule that made it harder for banks to store crypto assets, but the resolution was vetoed by President Joe Biden. The report said the Central Bank Digital Currency CBDC Anti-Surveillance Act is an attempt to block US CBDCs, preventing the Fed banks from offering certain products to consumers and using central bank digital currencies for monetary policies. The bill is banning the Fed from issuing CBDCs, was passed by the House of Representatives last month, but it is unclear whether it will be accepted by the Senate. It won't be. CBDCs are coming either way. And JP Morgan Nicholas also sees the same thing. Nicholas, JP Morgan's analyst, also sees that CBDCs are coming either way inside the United States. No matter how many people vote against it, essentially, and stablecoin regulation essentially is going against particular crypto projects. And he mentioned USDT. Even JP Morgan sees it as USDT is not going to be doing too well in terms of regulations. The next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding Pantera invests $21 million into Menzo's Bitcoin DeFi push. A lot of things are happening on Bitcoin's chain, essentially, to make it faster, cheaper. You have MicroStrategy on one side, turning their entire company into a Bitcoin company to help Bitcoin maintain itself better, even incorporate AI into it, essentially what they've mentioned, so that, essentially Riot Blocks, Riot Marathon, which is a massive Bitcoin mining institution, they're also working on that aspect as well. Even Tether has made some investments into essentially making Bitcoin faster, cheaper, and so on. Even tried to integrate AI into it, and they're also opening up $100 million Bitcoin mining institution in Russia, Tether. But Pantera is basically the next announcement that came out regarding what's going to be the developments on Bitcoin's network. So, Anna, good to see you. So, how you doing? Now, Pantera invests $21 million into Menzo's Bitcoin DeFi push. Pantera Capital led a $21 million investment in Menzo, a pioneering Bitcoin economic layer marking a significant milestone in the rapidly expanding Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem. This significant investment demonstrates industry leaders' belief in Menzo's vision and capacity to overcome long-standing scalability and programmability issues within Bitcoin. Menzo, a EVM-compatible Layer 2 solution for Bitcoin, attempts to improve its usability by including features like dependable bridging, BTC as a primary gas asset, and dual staking architecture for rewards and validation. In its conclusion, it into the Bitcoin ecosystem comes at a critical time as the demand for scalable and programmable solution grows. Mezzo's early market dominance in the Bitcoin Layer 2 ecosystem is evident, with the project ranking among the top Bitcoin Layer 2s in terms of total value locked (TVL). The $21 million investment not only validates Mezzo's creative methodology, but also demonstrates the growing interest and investments in Bitcoin scalability and solutions. Mezzo can significantly boost the BTC DeFi market capitalization and accelerate adoption in locations with high Bitcoin usage, reshaping the landscape of decentralized finance and beyond for the Bitcoin network. With the upcoming launch of its public testnet, developer interest is likely to skyrocket, cementing Mezzo's position as a major player in the Bitcoin DeFi field. Mezzo, backed by experienced team and notable investors such as Pantera Capital, Multicoin Capital, Hack VC, Nascent, Primitive Ventures, and Parafy Capital, represents a big step forward for Bitcoin ecosystems. Mezzo's EVM capital layer for Bitcoin is poised to unlock tremendous potential for Bitcoin in the DeFi and beyond, addressing long-standing and scalability and programmability challenges. With CEO Matt and COO Rekau guiding the way, Mezzo is a professional team poised to accomplish its objectives of EVM-compatible Bitcoin Layer 2 solutions that will improve Bitcoin scalability and applications. This is all great for BTC. All great for BTC if they can get the job done. A lot of people are trying to build on BTC right now. Quite a lot of companies are extremely focused on trying to build on BTC. I'm wishing them all the best. Not a single one has been quite successful on how to lower the speeds. A lot of them are implementing AI into it, hoping that works out, because who doesn't want to see Bitcoin faster and cheaper in terms of transactions? But a lot of them are trying. No one's been very successful, but let's see how this particular project goes. And also, if Mezzo ever comes out with some sort of a token, they haven't announced the token, I don't think they will be, but if they do ever come out with some sort of a platform regarding Mezzo and Bitcoin, and they come out with a token, and they actually become successful on trying to help scale regarding scalability of Bitcoin's network, I will definitely mention it to everyone if they ever do introduce a token. Because if they're going to be the ones that fix Bitcoin, then their token is going to be extremely highly valued. Now, so I'll definitely keep people updated on that and see how far it goes. Bybit is the next news to go through, which is major news. Because Bybit is about to be opening its doors for trading for overseas Chinese communities. I mentioned to everyone there's rumors going around inside the crypto space in terms of rumors coming out of China, where China is going to be opening its doors to cryptocurrencies. Now, it's never been confirmed in any sort of a way, but we're getting some sort of confirmation type of scenarios coming out when Bybit announces basically this today. Bybit opens trading for overseas Chinese communities. Bybit, a cryptocurrency trading platform, announced that Chinese expats will be allowed to establish accounts and trade digital assets through its services. Bybit, one of the world's top 3 crypto exchanges by volume, is pleased to announce the expansion of our service and offerings to the overseas Chinese communities, the company stated in a statement. The company said that this decision is a reaction to the growing need for secure, dependable, and user-friendly cryptocurrency trading platforms among Chinese and overseas Chinese communities. The news followed allegations on Wednesday that Bybit may have permitted registration authentication services for users in China, which has long been regarded as a restricted jurisdiction. Bybit did not respond to their attempts for a comment. Yesterday, a lot of people were asking Bybit, essentially journalists were asking Bybit why they opened their doors to China, because China doesn't want to deal with cryptocurrencies, and it's not allowed in their jurisdictions. So today, but Bybit did not reply to anyone yesterday. However, Bybit put out a statement today stating why they're opening their doors, which is basically they're opening their doors and it's within regulation. Apparently, the organization also stated that overseas Chinese users will soon be able to register and open accounts on the Bybit platform. Chinese users will be able to open up legitimately, will be able to open up cryptocurrency accounts on Bybit. If China's doors open to cryptocurrency, believe me, we're going to have floodgates of money coming into the market space. If it actually opens up with the same benefits as current users, Bybit remains committed to adhering to all applicable regulations inside the markets we operate in, it stated, adding that it expects eventually to operate in Hong Kong, the UAE, and the EU fully. If Bybit opens their doors fully to the Chinese communities, to Chinese citizens with Chinese passports, this will open floodgates of money coming in. Because China's been trapped outside of the crypto space for quite a while now. Obviously, you get Chinese bankers, for example, using Hong Kong as a loophole. But in actual, the citizens is what I'm talking about. And also the rest of the corporations that aren't using loopholes. They're going to come in with the floodgates as well. If they can genuinely open up an account legitimately and not be shut down, expect floodgates of essentially avenue streams of money coming inside the crypto space from the Chinese market space. So Bybit is the first one to do this. And if they're doing it, then they're probably doing it on a legitimate basis. Because if they're operating in a gray area, one, it's not going to be good for Bybit, and two, they will definitely get sued somehow. So they must be doing it on a legitimate basis, what we have to go forward with, essentially. Hoping is legitimate. But I'll definitely keep people updated on this whole China opening their doors again, because it's extremely major news, extremely bullish news for the entire crypto sector. US Treasury are definitely going to be a spark that push the market higher. US Treasury is the next news to go through. US Treasury, AI brings huge opportunities, is what they said, and risk the financial stability. We'll go through that after we go through the comment section. Miles, I have half of a BTC. Do you think it's worth holding, or shall I swap it for utility coins? Completely up to you. BTC reaching 1 million by 2030. Yeah. Is what a lot of people are saying as well in terms of executives. Miles, Bitstamp has emerged with Robinhood. This is bullish news. Yes, it is, definitely. Malcolm, how you doing? Hello, Miles and CMF. I hope that you had or have a good day. Scott, good to see you, brother. How you doing? How you been? How's things? So, US Treasury. US Treasury, AI brings huge opportunities, is what they said. The United States Treasury is preparing for a whipsaw of risk and opportunities from artificial intelligence, AI. The AI sector in the years to come. This was the theme at US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen gave the keynote speech at the Conference of Artificial Intelligence and Financial Stability. The event was hosted by the US Financial Stability Oversight Council, the FSOC, in partnership with Brookings institutions. According to the FSOC, this is the first time in a decade that the council has hosted an event of this nature. During her keynote address, Secretary Janet Yellen issued a formal call for action in the form of requests for public comment on the risks and opportunities posed by AI from financial institutions, consumers, and other stakeholders with vested interest in U.S. financial stability. Janet Yellen laid out several key opportunities for financial institutions using AI, including cybersecurity benefits and more accurate fosterings and predictions, as well as customer service and account managements. However, as the Secretary put it, there are also new issues to confront, and this is the rapidly evolving field, referring to the tremendous opportunities and significant risks posed by AI technologies. Yellen added, "We have our work cut out for us." Is AI about to be regulated inside the United States? Because the US Treasury is having conversations about it and having a keynote speech about it. That's never happened in decades in terms of something new coming up. Among the potential risks, Yellen cited concerns of centralizations of AI models and data in terms of Microsoft owning OpenAI and being biased with it, Meta with their own AI being biased with it, Google with their own AI, Gemini also being biased with it, is what she's on about. Something which could expose numerous market institutions to single point of failure. She also mentioned that for AI to establish a basis due to the black box nature of many models. Essentially not to be biased. But the bullishness of this entire scenario is they're talking about it, which could lead to essentially regulations, which is great for AI crypto projects. There's a lot of AI crypto projects out there, some legitimate, some not so much legitimate. But the legitimate ones will do well And if they're having conversations about, inside the US Treasury about AI and how AI can help financial institutions in many aspects, is what they said. This is great. Extremely bullish for AI, extremely bullish for blockchain, and hope to see more conversations like this being brought up in, meetings like that, because that's the best place to bring them up. The most powerful people, some of the most powerful people, will be sitting in that room. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is this: Ripple's CLO. Ripple's CLO questions Gary Gensler's unlawful enforcement actions. We'll have to go through that, but before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. Miles, how's your parents? How are you doing? How's your business? My business very well. Thanks so much for asking. Scott, my family's doing very well as well. Thanks so much for asking. And I've been doing well as well. How you been, Scott? I'm doing okay. Let's go, Scott. Well said, Miles. Let's go, Dazzle. Hey, Miles, I can see that happen because China is a part of BRICS. Yep. Do you think ASI would be a strong and well-developed project? Possible. The combination that's going on right now between Waves, Singularity, and AJX and so on, coming together to create this super AI project. They're doing it, obviously in terms of desperation, because they can't compete by themselves, so they have to come together to be able to compete with the overall market inside the AI space. So it's not innovation, as I said previously. It could be innovation later on, depending on what they come up with. But for the time being, it's a desperation move inside of the business world. It makes you look weak rather than to show strength when companies merge. When companies merge, it's normally a sign of weakness. One company is not doing too well, so they're merging to be able to, hold on tight before collapsing. So I hope that ASI does well and they do bring some innovation, and it's not just a temp of desperation to stick around. I sent you a DM. Scott, I'll definitely check out this live show. I got so many DMs to reply to, but I'll definitely check out this live show. Apologies about that, Scott. Now, Ripple CLO is the next news to go from tonight's live show. And the previous news, obviously, regarding AI, massive bullish news. Now, Ripple CLO questions Gary Gensler's unlawful enforcement actions. Stewart, Ripple's chief legal officer, has queried the massive losses in tax dollars that have been expanded by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, in its enforcement actions. The Ripple CLO alleged that SEC was wasting taxpayers' money, which is facts. Absolute facts. Ripple's head chief legal officer, essentially their head lawyer, let's just say this scenario, sent out a tweet with Gary Gensler in the post, and essentially him mentioning that Gary Gensler is wasting everybody's taxpayer money to go after crypto projects for no apparent reason without bringing some sort of clarity to the space. Ripple CLO triggers a fresh criticism wave. As per the statement on his X account, this is what he said: I am once again asking how many tax dollars have been... He's actually asking Gary Gensler, by the way. Ripple's CLO, Ripple's chief legal officer, essentially, is asking Gary Gensler on X publicly. This is what he said: I am asking again how many tax dollars have been wasted through failed efforts by Gary Gensler's SEC to expand its jurisdiction beyond what law allows. Essentially, Gary Gensler making up his own laws in court, debit box. We saw that scenario. It wasn't Gary Gensler, but it was the SEC, and anything has to be some sort of way approved by the chairmen of the essentially SEC before any actions are taken by random lawyers from the SEC. So obviously Gary Gensler had something to do with the SEC and debit box scenario. But yes, Gary Gensler does make up his own rules. He did say before in the past that he doesn't care about the judge's opinion. He cares about his opinion first of all. So yes, but good question. How much of taxpayers' money has Gary Gensler wasted? Everybody wants to know at this point. The SEC's regulatory approach to the oversight of the cryptocurrency sector has drawn criticism from many notable stakeholders in the broader ecosystem. Stewart remarks are the most latest in a series of criticisms of way Gary Gensler is leading the SEC. By the way, do you know how confident you have to be? Honestly, do you know how confident you have to be as a CLO of Ripple? So head of laws, let's just say their head barrister or lawyer, you want to say, depending on which jurisdiction you're from, but their head barrister or lawyer. Do you know how confident he has to be from Ripple's side to be making these tweets whilst battling the SEC back and forward? Because if you ask Gary Gensler, he would say, I can't discuss ongoing SEC cases. And if you ask anybody else, they will say the exact same thing. But so understand honestly how confident the CLO of Ripple is when he's asking these questions whilst battling the SEC. He must be very confident on their lawsuit, which is a good sign for anybody who's actually holding XRP. The Ripple CLO referenced a June 5th judgment on the Fifth Circuit as a basis for his query. The vacated US SEC request requiring private fund investors to provide detailed disclosures to investors. If the ruling had gone the way of the SEC, it would have been a sweeping impact on artificial intelligence and crypto assets, among other market niches. Following the seeming leaning of President Joe Biden toward cryptocurrencies, Brad, the CEO of Ripple Inc., had called for a sack of SEC boss. Again, you know how confident you have to be to say these things? Brad sparked a fire against the debate on social media platform X, although the Ripple CEO had many people backing his stance. Some insisted it was undemocratic. No, it isn't. Wider industries and political repercussions. Beyond the Ripple ecosystem, US lawmaker Tom Hemmer slammed Gary Gensler for his categorization of Ethereum as a security. The United States representative maintained there was a hint of dishonesty and the lack of clear stance on the matter, which I revealed in this live show as well, when Tom Hemmer suggested that Gary Gensler was going to come out with the essentially Ethereum scenario as a security in the past, but he never mentioned it to us, and he still kept it quiet moving forwards. Tom Hemmer believed the SEC's accusation could harm investors, taint their integrity of the capital markets, and even threaten US global leadership. Essentially, Tom Hemmer is saying, if you know something is a security, then mention it. Don't go silent for 2 years and then sue the company. Mention it 2 years before if you are aware of it being a security. Don't waste everybody's time, essentially. Don't waste investors' time. Sue them 2 years later when you know they're doing something wrong now. Go after them now is what he's trying to say. Similarly, the Consensus 2024 conference held recently, Tom Hemmer claimed that Gary Gensler has exceeded his authorities, undermining the SEC's mission to foster capital investment and innovation. Meanwhile, in the criticism, Gary Gensler hinted that the approval of the necessary S1 registrations for the spot Ethereum ETFs will take some time. In a recent interview, the SEC boss stated that further steps involved in the final approval of spot Ether ETFs were not close. So according to Gary Gensler, we're not close to Ethereum ETFs being approved even after the S1 filings. He might try to tell them to refile their S1. He can tell them to refile their S1 once or twice. But after that, essentially the SEC will be sued again. And then through the suings, just like the BTC ETFs, still green-lighted. But something ridiculous, honestly. You have to sue the SEC to get anything done. But yeah, facts with what the CLO of Ripple Labs said. And again, you have to be extremely confident as a CLO of a company being sued by the SEC to mention these things online. You have to be extremely confident. Also, with Brad being extremely confident as well, saying sack Gary Gensler, which is all positive news for Ripple. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is Telegram. Because as in a sense, it's positive to see where they're headed. And it seems to be like, well, Ripple's in the clear wind by the looks of it. The next news to go from tonight's live show is Telegram. Telegram launches Telegram Stars, a new payment system with TON, their blockchain essentially, TON. Telegram launches Telegram Stars, a new payment system, introduced a new payment system for digital goods and services. I explained this previously as well. X is not the only platform trying to aim to become an everything app. Okay, Elon Musk is not the only person trying to aim for an everything app. Telegram's founder is also trying to aim for an everything app by making Telegram an everything app. But with TON Foundation. TON is going to be the core of Telegram. The same way Base is the core of Coinbase, TON is the base of Telegram. Telegram has 900 million users. TON came into the rankings, top 50, now it's top 9, top 10 basically, which is amazing. And a lot of things are going to be produced on Telegram's network. And I said this previously, so I said everybody's still focused on Solana's ecosystem or on Base now. Everybody's shifting over from Solana a little bit to Base chain. But nobody, as I said previously, is focused on Telegram, TON, their own blockchain, which they developed, by the way, then dropped not to get sued by the SEC. And then later on, created a partnership with the same program they built. as a loophole. So Telegram introduces a new payment system for digital goods and services, dubbed Telegram Stars. The new update marks the expansion of its bot platform to support payments for digital goods and services on Telegram, enhancing its ecosystem for over 400 million monthly users. 400 million monthly users engage with bots and mini apps on the platform. Out of 900 million users, 400 million users monthly on Telegram's platform engage with bots and mini apps on Telegram's platform. These blockchain mini apps they're building back to back. Users can acquire stars through in-app purchases via Apple Pay or Google or essentially premium bots and use them to purchase a variety of digital goods offered by Telegram bots, such as ebooks, online courses, and in-game items. This initiative aims to create a new revenue stream for developers and more enriched experience for users. Telegram is going to be turning into a TikTok, YouTube type of platform at the same time. Also, developing e-commerce platform, and so many features are headed towards Telegram, and they're all going to be built upon Ton, T-O-N, which I mentioned Ton when it first launched, and now look at where it's sitting. Telegram Stars complies with the latest policies set by Apple and Google for the sale of digital goods. So Apple and Google are pretty much in line with what Telegram is about to do next. This compliance ensures that developers can easily integrate in-app purchases into their bots, providing users with a smooth and secure purchasing experience. Developers will soon have the option to convert their star earnings into Ton coins. The developers essentially, and also the content creators on Telegram. Telegram is going to have content creators. The content creators can essentially get paid on Telegram. They're going to be paid in Ton coin via the fragments, enhancing liquidity and user engagement with Telegram's ecosystem. Users can experience the new payment system by visiting Durga King bot, which is offering a special cake as a part of the launch celebration. So if you want to essentially get access to this new thing that Telegram is launching, Telegram payments, you have to search for Durga King bots on Telegram, and then you get a offering of a special cake as a part of the launch celebration on Telegram's app. Even if the cake is metaphorically a lie, Telegram ensures users can get a refund on their stars, making the new system risk-free for users. They have a refund system going on as well. With the new payment capabilities, developers now have unprecedented access to a global customer base of over 900 million Telegram users. This development opens up new business opportunities, allowing developers to monetize their digital content and services more effectively. The update also maintains the existing payment infrastructure for physical products, ensuring a continuous for business already using Telegram payment providers. Future prospects. Telegram's move to support digital payments aligns with its broader vision to enhance their user experience and support a diverse range of digital businesses. Developers can now explore the new functionalities and growth opportunities within Telegram's inexpensive user base, making it a pivotal platform for digital commerce. For more details on the changes and how to integrate Telegram stars into your bots, developers can refer to the updated guidelines on Telegram support page. With these advancements, Telegram is set to become a central hub for digital transactions, bridging the gap between users and innovative digital content. If Telegram launches some sort of a platform for cryptocurrencies, they already have 900 million users actively using it. And Telegram is like the number one app for crypto developers, for crypto users. For anybody doing some sort of digital content in blockchain, everybody uses Telegram. This is amazing news for them. Amazing news for Telegram, amazing news for Ton, amazing news for blockchain. It grows the adoption faster. There's 900 million people using Telegram. Imagine how fast the adoption will grow, not just for Ton coin, but also the blockchain space in general, cryptocurrencies in general. 900 million users. And they're introducing a new payment system essentially called Stars. Extremely bullish. Now, ECB is also bullish as well. ECB cuts interest rates for the first time in 5 years. Yesterday on this live show, I revealed that Canada has just done rate cuts. And I said the ECB is next, which was today. And today, the ECB also did rate cuts. Just like Canada hasn't done rate cuts for about a good 4 to 5 years, and they did it suddenly yesterday, the ECB also did interest rate cuts as well for the first time in 5 years. But before we go through that, let me go inside the comment section first, just in case anyone's in questions. Miles, any tips on how you would sell NFTs if you were trying to get rid of them? The only way to sell an NFT, you would need to have a buyer on the other side. Otherwise, you're stuck with that NFT for the time being. So you can list your NFT from wherever you did buy them originally from. You can relist your NFT from the platform they originally brought it from, and then hope there's a buyer in town to buy it. It's not something that you can get rid of, or something that regularly has customer base for it. So about 90% of the time when you buy an NFT, you're stuck with that NFT. 99% of the time. Although that 1% comes through with a customer. But yeah, list it on the platform they originally brought it from. Put it at a low price if you want to get rid of it, and hopefully a buyer comes around. ECB. ECB cuts interest rates for the first time in 5 years. The European Central Bank, ECB, has announced its first interest rate cuts in 5 years, reducing rates by 25 basis points. This decision, made earlier today, was widely anticipated despite ongoing inflation pressure within the 20-nation Eurozone. The central bank's key rate is now 3.75%, down from a record of 4%, where it stood since September 2023. According to a statement from the central bank's governing council, based on the updated assessment of the inflation outlook, the dynamics of underlying inflation, and the strength of monetary policy transmission, it is now appropriate to moderate the degree of monetary policy restrictions after 9 months of holding rates steady. It's extremely bullish for cryptocurrencies. And I'll explain why. The ECB rapid GBT growth. The ECB updated the macroeconomics projections are crucial for investors. ECB staff have raised their annual average headline inflation outlook for 2024 to 2.5, up from the previous forecast of 2.3 for 2025. The inflation forecast has been adjusted to 2.2, up from 2%. The projection for 2026 remains unchanged at 1.9%. In terms of GDP growth, the ECB expects the Eurozone to grow by 0.9% in 2024, 1.4% in 2025, and 1.6% in 2026. These projections suggest a gradual improvement in economic conditions over the next few years, a bit at a modest pace. Money markets have fully priced in the 25 basis points rate cuts at the ECB June meeting. This is the first reduction since September 2019, which is why it's a big deal. A period when the deposit facility was in negative territory. Economists polled by retainers last week predicted that there could be 2 more rate cuts over the coming months, even though markets have currently priced in only 1 further reduction this year. All eyes are on the US. The ECB decision to cut rates comes ahead of the US Federal Reserve, which has been slower to lower the rates due to the persistent inflation inside the United States. In contrast, Canada became the first G7 nation to cut interest rates in the current cycle yesterday. I revealed on this live show, marking a move, essentially, a major move. Additionally, central banks in Sweden and Switzerland have already announced their own rate reductions this year as well. The ECB President Christian Lagarde highlighted during Thursday's essential news conference that not all members of the Governing Council voted for the rate cut. Although she did not disclose the identity of the designated members, she reiterated that the ECB aims to address inflationary concerns while managing economic growths. Major news. Whenever we do have rate cuts, investors become a lot more riskier with their money. When you have either way it goes for the crypto space is a positive. More of a positive if we get rate cuts, but if we don't get rate cuts, then obviously the majority of the market will slightly start shifting to cryptocurrencies to hedge against inflation if we don't get rate cuts. If we do get rate cuts, then investors become a lot more riskier with their investments, which means they go towards much more riskier assets, which in this terms is cryptocurrencies. So either way is both good news, but obviously rate cuts is better news. So it's absolutely amazing. Miles, can you spell that app or site? Which app or which site? Be more explicit. Which app or which site or which news? Major US crypto exchange is the next news we're going to go through. A major cryptocurrency exchange is about to go public or is raising money to go public. The first company we had essentially inside the crypto space cryptocurrency platform was Coinbase. Coinbase was the only one that actually went public. And then there was rumors and news that Ripple would go public also, but Ripple's also in a battle in a lawsuit, which is why they're not going public for the time being. However, there is another platform preparing to go public. Major US cryptocurrency exchange wants to raise $100 million before IPO. Cryptocurrency exchange Kraken intends to raise roughly $100 million ahead of its initial public offering IPO, according to a recent report by Bloomberg that cites sources familiar with the matter. The report says that the crypto giant wants to wrap up its fundraise by the end of 2024. Kraken initially intended to go public via a SPAC merger back in 2022. It's supposed to follow the footsteps of rival cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase, whose stocks made its debut on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange April 2021. Much fanfare. However, Kraken ended up postponing its IPO due to strong market downtrend. In November 2022, the price of Bitcoin crashed all the way to 16,000 during the unfolding FTX crisis that sent shockwaves across the entire crypto market space. In March, Bitcoin ended up reaching its current all-time high levels of $73,737. Due to the market cap, Kraken expected to generate as much as $2 billion in revenue this year. According to a report by Bloomberg, Kraken's IPO plans were also complicated by the US Securities and Exchange Commission essentially taking the company to court last year. Kraken has been accused of operating as an unregistered securities exchange by the regulator. In February, Kraken filed to dismiss the SEC lawsuit, rehashing previous arguments used by embedded crypto companies to make a case that most cryptocurrencies are not securities. The exchange has also accused the formidable regulator of trying to expand its jurisdiction. Essentially, Kraken was being looked into by the SEC, and they did try to get a case dismissed. It's been silent since the case dismissal of Kraken and SEC. But now, Kraken going public, brilliant news. Kraken going public is great for the crypto space, bullish for the crypto space in general. Also, if you are the type of person that's invested into Coinbase stock, Kraken stock essentially should be your next step. Not to go for, but to research if you want to go for it. It's not financial advice, but Coinbase will do extremely well, and so will Kraken if they get their IPO up and ready. And they're choosing a perfect time. Honestly, Kraken is choosing a perfect time right now. With all the institutions inside the crypto space, with all these ETFs opening up their doors in different jurisdictions, perfect timing. With also the regulations coming in from the MICA, also perfect timing. And also some regulations coming in from the United States and the presidential election coming up, perfect timing for Kraken. Extremely bullish. Extremely bullish. Now, also regarding the Bloomberg side of things. So all of this information is coming from Bloomberg insider voices, let's say. Now, you might be thinking, well, Bloomberg doesn't know what they're talking about. Bloomberg, cites Bloomberg sources familiar with the matter could just be rumors, which it is up to a certain extent. But to be explicitly, correct with you, Bloomberg familiar sources have been correct so far. It was the Bloomberg familiar sources that put the deadline on the Bitcoin ETFs, and they happened. It was the Bloomberg familiar sources that put the deadlines on the Ethereum ETFs, and it happened. While everybody was going against Bloomberg for the Bitcoin ETF deadline, Bloomberg was correct. When everybody was against Ethereum's ETF deadline, Bloomberg was correct. And now Bloomberg is coming out and telling everybody that their same familiar sources are telling them that Kraken is waiting for an IPO to be launched. It's just from perspective. If Bloomberg was wrong all the time, I could say, well, it's just a rumor that's never going to happen. But Bloomberg's being correct all of the time by the looks of it. Crypto space, Bloomberg ETF, so far, they've been correct. Not one thing they've said that hasn't came true in terms of what Bloomberg has said so far, in terms of the ETF news and so on, in terms of deadlines being accurate on the information. The Wall Street Journal is always full of BS. The Wall Street Journal is the only one that you cannot take with even a grain of salt. You say, when it comes to the news, you should take everything with a grain of salt. But when it comes to the Wall Street Journal, forget the grain of salt. All of it is BS. The Wall Street Journal has lied so much about the crypto space, and Elizabeth Warren always uses the Wall Street Journal as factual evidence, even though it's written by a moronic news journalist. Let's just be honest with ourselves. But yeah, the Wall Street Journal is the only one that you should not even take with a grain of salt. It's absolute BS, head to toe. Every article they write about the crypto space is all criticism and based on non-factual information, based on their own opinions. Now, but Bloomberg is something that you should definitely consider their information, even if it is a rumor, because they're very close to the truth. Put the New York Times in there too. I have been waiting on it. Let's go, JP. Yeah, definitely. Kraken is definitely one to definitely look into as well. And Troy, you still haven't said. Sorry, not Troy. Joe's. Miles, can you spell that Apple site? Which app, which site, and which news? Troy. Not Troy. Joe's. Put the New York Times in there as well. Now, Jotsu. Jotsu is about to be revolutionizing real-world asset transparency and verification, and it's going to be integrating into BlackRock's real-world asset ecosystem. Jotsu, a pioneering layer 1 blockchain platform with a native ZK MPC or Coral, is launching its integration with BlackRock ecosystem to increase real-world assets transparency and verification. Jotsu extends the concept of proof of reserve to include the precise value backing any real-world assets, setting a new standard in the industry, which is amazing. What's happening right now with BlackRock extending their foot, essentially extending their reach inside the crypto sector is amazing. Day by day, we're getting more information on what BlackRock's movements are. So far, it's all been positive. BlackRock, a global leader in asset management, has made groundbreaking strides in real-world asset space. This move underscores the immense potential of real-world assets in modern finance. As Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, told retainers that he expects that the next generation securities will be tokenized. Jotsu now seamlessly integrates with BlackRock's real-world asset ecosystem to enhance transparency and tokenization efforts. The first integration includes an end-to-end solution for assets backed by BlackRock's build tokens. It encompasses verifications of reserves and valuations, as well as a seamless integration with tokenization, compliance, and KYC ID platforms. While many current yield stablecoins that use build are reliant on self-reporting and only offer annual audits, Jotsu now provides verification on demand. KYC is going to become obviously one of the key players inside the crypto space. Is how you stop AML, or ML in this case, money laundering. But KYC is obviously going to be playing a very key role, especially in BlackRock. BlackRock does not want to be found guilty on any sort of ML situations or AML situations. So that's why they're doing this. But this is major moves that BlackRock is doing with their tokenization fund and integrating with a blockchain partner. While many current yielding stablecoins that use build are reliant on self-reporting and only offer annual audits, Jotsu now provides verification on demand. With its second integration, Jotsu brings the verified amount of Bitcoin BTC in BlackRock's ETF on-chain. This significant integration allows DeFi solutions to leverage this information, providing synthetic asset options and insights into the asset flows. This verification of market sentiment makes it possible to deliver solutions with unprecedented transparency. This is what BlackRock said. Sorry, this is what Jotsu said. We are excited to be integrating with the BlackRock real-world ecosystem, said Jacob, CEO of Jotsu. Our capabilities in verifying and tokenizing real-world assets empowers the visions of the future of finance, and we are thrilled to be setting new benchmarks for transparency and trust in tokenized financial ecosystems with BlackRock. It's massive news. Michael, the former managing director of BlackRock and current Jujutsu manager as well, essentially, added, I'm very excited to see BlackRock leading the way in tokenized assets with their tokenized fund and Bitcoin ETFs. The Jujutsu network increases transparency and verification for real-world assets. The value of real-world assets is only good as what's backing it, and BlackRock is the best in asset class. the manager said from BlackRock. Our current solution to bring Bitcoin ETF flows on-chain, starting with BlackRock's, enables decentralized finance, DeFi, and our build integration brings much-needed transparency to real-world assets, RWA. With this integration, Jutsu not only enhances the verification and tokenization of real-world assets, but also opens up new avenues for DeFi protocols. By providing accurate and real-time data on verified reserves, backing assets like BUILD and BTC in BlackRock's ETF, Jutsu enables secure and innovative financial solutions that are transparent, reliable, and secure. About Jutsu. Jutsu is a leading Layer 1 blockchain platform with a native ZK MPCO core designed to provide unmatched transparency and verification for real-world assets. By enabling cost-effective reading and writing on blockchain, Jutsu empowers DeFi and tokenization, setting new standards in asset verification and trust. Massive news. Massive news. BlackRock is about to be integrating heavily into blockchain, where they're getting an actual blockchain company to integrate into their build trust, to integrate into their real-world assets. Massive news, extremely bullish. Because a lot of corporations have their eyes on BlackRock right now and what's BlackRock's next move going to be inside the crypto space. Because massive corporates tend to follow each other. Also, medium corporates follow the massive ones. So right now, everybody's looking at BlackRock inside the corporate sector and going, BlackRock is going much more heavy-footed inside the crypto space. They're integrating now with blockchain heavily. They're integrating blockchain with a blockchain company within their own, essentially, tokenization fund. They're trying to connect, essentially, the traditional market space with the digital space, which is incredible news and extremely bullish. More corporates will be following in suit with what BlackRock has just done today, which is extremely bullish for cryptocurrencies in general. Extremely. Because it brings more eyes on the crypto space, which brings more adoption for legitimate crypto projects. Not for the random crypto projects, but for the legitimate crypto projects. The next news to go through on tonight's live show is Franklin Templeton. Franklin Templeton is exploring, this is also bullish as well. Franklin Templeton is exploring altcoins-based private fund with staking rewards. Franklin Templeton is right now trying to explore beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, because Franklin Templeton has a Bitcoin ETF, but they also have an Ethereum ETF pending. And they're trying to go beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum into altcoins in general, which is, again, massively bullish news. But I did state a very long time ago that, apologies about that, but I did state a long time ago that, and I made a tweet about it, more business, more corporates are going to be coming in, more partnerships, more developments, more ETFs. A lot of things are going to be happening. Part 2 is pending with the corporate sector. Utility, the real part of cryptocurrencies, is utility. And while the corporate section is heavily, focused on utility, the retail section is focused on the next meme coin. But the corporate section is coming in with deep, deep pockets, and they're focused on utility. And I will definitely keep people updated inside of this live show, especially the CMF, about this new partnership with BlackRock. I'll definitely keep people updated, because if this particular blockchain project, even decides to introduce a token while being integrated into BlackRock's fund, well, for me, it's a no-brainer to definitely look into it and definitely even possibly go for it. But I'll definitely keep people updated on BlackRock's new partnership with this blockchain company. If they ever do release something, it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to be looking into, because that's a major partnership to have BlackRock, first of all, as a partner, but second of all, to greenlight you to integrate themselves into their fund. Amazing news. There's a direct partnership, not loop around, a direct partnership. But now, before we go through the Franklin Templeton news, where they're moving away from just Bitcoin and Ethereum to altcoins in general, before we go to that news, let's go inside the comment section first. Oh, Joe's Telegram, TON. JP, thank you so much for helping Joe's out. TON is Ton Coin. There's 2 tons. One of them is Ton Coin for Telegram. Oh yes, I posted something on Telegram about Ton and I was removed. Pardon me, if I wasn't supposed to, I stated that it was not a scam. However, do your own research. Yeah, the reason why, Junos, the reason why we don't. Okay, here's a message to everyone. So, if Junos, if you did post something on Telegram, the reason why I got removed is this. So, I'm responsible technically for the CMF, keeping the CMF safe because I'm the one running the shows with the CMF moderators and the CMF members all looking out for each other. So the reason why I don't want anybody, so this is for everyone, and for Genos that posted something on Telegram, the reason why I don't want anybody promoting random Telegram groups inside of our Telegram group is because 99% of the projects you're promoting, and you might not be aware of this, are all pump and dumps. And when that project dumps and you posted it inside the CMF Telegram group, I'm kind of responsible for the CMF Telegram group. And if I don't take action before it happens and things go south, people will blame me for not keeping them safe. So that is why I don't want anyone ever to post random Telegram groups on the CMF Telegram group, because the post that you're posting from, you can post anything you want on the CMF Telegram group. You can post news, you can post cryptocurrency news, regulation news, partnership news, contracts, PDF, post whatever you want inside a Telegram group, inside a CMF Telegram group of this live show. But one thing you should not do is post random Telegram groups for pump and dumps inside the CMF Telegram group. Never post random Telegram groups, because those projects 99% of the time are pump and dumps. It doesn't matter if you say, do your own research. It's a pump and dump. You will become exit liquidity. It's guaranteed. 99% of you will become exit liquidity. Only a few make it through pump coins, through pump and dump coins. I've been in the crypto space for too long. And one of my oldest saying is, a wise person would learn from other people's mistakes. A moron would have to go through the mistake to realize it was a mistake. So I always tell people, you can learn from my mistakes, or more than willingly, you can go through your own mistake. But a wise person would choose to learn from other people's mistakes. A moron would want to go through the mistake to realize it was a mistake. So, never post random Telegram groups at all. Because even if you say do your own research, and you might not be aware of this, depending on how long you've been inside the crypto space, but 99% of those projects will fail. And when you post random Telegram groups inside of this live show's Telegram group, the CMF Telegram group, I'm responsible for not taking action because I know that project will fail. Guaranteed fail. So I'm taking action before anybody gets trapped as exit liquidity and stopping you from becoming exit liquidity. So never post random Telegram groups. Post news, post partnerships, post contracts, post whatever you want that's educational, that's going to grow everybody's knowledge. But don't post pump and dumps. Because one, that's disrespectful to me. And two, that's disrespectful to everyone that's a CMF member. And to the CMF mods. Even if you do your own research. Because you fully well know that it's a pump and dump. And do your own research means jack squat for pump and dumps. Ginos, I wasn't saying this to single you out in any sort of a way. I was saying it in a general aspect. Don't post pump and dumps because they will fail. And I don't want to be blamed later on for not protecting people when I could protect people. And again, it is disrespectful to me, it's disrespectful to the CMF members and to the CMF mods. Even if you do your own research. Because you fully know that that project will fail. Nice, Miles and family. Joe's, let's go. No problem. Miles looking out for us. Let's go, Susie. Thanks for explaining, Miles. I am a moderator and keep check on this in the future. Let's go, Scott. Don't post any links that offers free cryptos that are 90% scams. Since I started crypto, I stopped clicking on any links that I don't know. Good move. So the post was taken down by Genos, didn't get blocked. Is that right? Yes. No, don't block. Just don't block. Anybody that by mistake essentially posts something, just delete the post. Don't block the person unless we don't know who the person is and it's a new CMF member. Give them a warning and say, don't do this. It's disrespectful to me. It's disrespectful to CMF members. You're posting blatantly scams. But just remove the post, and if it's a new member, warning. If it's an old member, they will apologize straight away and never do it again. I'm guessing new members will never do it again as well, but I agree 100%. Pardon me. I didn't mean any harm. Genos, yeah, I'm fully aware. Of course, you meant no harm. 100%. Obviously, I know that. You didn't mean any harm. And you were just doing it because you wanted to share some news. But yeah, I appreciate it for understanding. Thank you so much for understanding. Please, I've sent you a DM on Telegram. And Genos, I'll check it out after this live show because I don't have access to Telegram. I'm using my iPhone to record. Plus, we've had a few scammers in the group trying to infiltrate Genos, so we've been trying to limit these types of links. Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's why I don't let any pump and dump posts. It's disrespectful to everyone inside the CMF group on Telegram. Greetings from Austin, Texas. I'm in the States, capital tapping with Miles and CMF. Hope all is well though. Ray, let's go. How you doing? How you been, brother? So, Franklin Templeton is the next news to go from tonight's live show. Franklin Templeton explores altcoins based on private fund with staking rewards, which is massive news coming out from Franklin Templeton, who have a Bitcoin ETF, who have an Ethereum ETF pending. So, asset manager Franklin Templeton is considering launching a new private fund that would expose institutional investors to altcoins. This is extremely bullish news. Same as the BlackRock news that I just gave everybody was extremely bullish news. This is also extremely bullish news, where Franklin Templeton, who has a Bitcoin ETF in the United States, massive assets company, who has a Bitcoin ETF, who has an Ethereum ETF pending, is now looking beyond and further by trying to get the institutional side involved in altcoins now, even more, which is extremely bullish. Considering launching a new private fund that will expose institutional investors to altcoins and offers rewards, staking rewards, according to a report from The Information. The move would expand the company's offerings beyond its current Bitcoin and Ethereum funds. For approximately 1.64 Can everybody see me? The platform just cuts out. Can everybody see me? The platform just cut out for a second. Yep, we're back. Okay, let's go. Yeah. So, as I was saying, let's go. As I was saying regarding Franklin Templeton, which is extremely bullish news. The move would expand the company's offerings beyond its current Bitcoin and Ethereum funds, with approximately $1.64 trillion in assets under management as of March 2024. Franklin Templeton has about $1.64 trillion in assets under management, and they are about to be creating an altcoin fund. Franklin Templeton ranks amongst the largest investment management firms globally. While the report does not specify which altcoins will be included in the fund's basket, Franklin Templeton has praised the growth of the Solana network, citing a signal of atomic state machines as a powerful use case of decentralized blockchains. Franklin Templeton is also one of the proponents of the spot Ether ETFs, which has recently been approved by the United States Securities Exchange Commission, SEC, and is currently awaiting clearance for launch. The asset manager recently updated its S1 filings for its Ethereum ETF as well, with the disclosure on the funds, a 0.19% fee. In a separate development, Franklin Templeton announced on June 6 that investors on its Benji investment platform can now use USDC coin, stablecoin, to fund investments in its money market fund, the Franklin On-Chain US Government Money Fund, FOBXX, which I also revealed on this live show on June 6. The fund, which manages $357 million in assets, is the first US-generated mutual fund to process transactions and record ownership of using public blockchains. Each share is represented by the Benji token. The conversions will be facilitated by the crypto and stablecoin infrastructure platform Zero Hash. Now, by the way, the next news we're going to be going through on tonight's live show is regarding Avalanche and a security company. They're going to be securing Avalanche's chain even better. But before we go through that, the news that we just went through regarding Franklin Templeton, a $1.64 trillion assets under management firm inside the United States, is about to go beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. So first we have BlackRock integrating blockchain technology with a blockchain company into their tokenization, and now we have Franklin Templeton going beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Let me just tell you something, that Brad, so recently, 2 days ago, 1 day ago, Brad from Ripple Labs, essentially the CEO, did an interview with Fox Business. Mike Novoscott did an interview with Bloomberg, and SEC Gary Gensler also did an interview with CNBC just 2 days ago. Brad mentioned something quite interesting. Same thing Monica Long said as well. Brad mentioned that institutions want access to multiple funds, essentially. They want access to multiple projects. They don't want to only be stuck with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They want to have access to a range of assets. And he said that's why XRP is going to get an ETF, or something else is going to get an ETF, and so on. But what he said about the, essentially the corporate sector wants access to, and I revealed this on his live show as well about 2 nights ago. And the live show is all pre-recorded and posted. After the live show is end, the pre-records and post by itself on X and YouTube, so anybody can rewatch them and use what I said as facts, as I did say this. Where Brad mentioned that the corporate sector wants more exposure. They want more exposure to cryptocurrencies. They want more exposure to crypto assets, and they want to go beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, is what Brad basically said. And he said that 2 days ago on Fox Live. And then now today we have Franklin Templeton mentioning that the new private fund would expose institutional investors, which is exactly what Brad said. Institutions want more exposure, and Franklin Templeton is giving more exposure to them by altcoin, by giving them more alternatives, which is extremely bullish news. Extremely bullish news. It pretty much aligns with what Brad said, and aligns with the corporate sector coming heavy-footed inside the crypto space, and what BlackRock is doing, what Franklin Templeton doing now. Both of them extremely bullish news. Now, the next news to go through on tonight's live show is regarding Avalanche and Blockade. They're enhancing their wallet securities. Before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. If his Telegram was handles cryptocurrency, yes, he got banned and blocked. Thank you for that. Hi, Miles. We're seeing a bullish summer. Meeting one Florida. How you doing? Good to see you as well. Yes, we're definitely seeing a bullish summer. By the looks for it, yes. I clicked on a link about 18 months ago for an airdrop. It took around $1,100 from me. Please be careful with links. Take a lesson from the experience prior to becoming a member of the CMF. Yes. Thanks. Please do not forget to share this show with friends and family. If you find the information is good to assist your personal research, yes, it is. Definitely share this live show with a lot of people. If you want anybody to have a better understanding of cryptocurrencies, or you yourself want to be updated in cryptocurrencies, definitely tune into this live show every single night. Now, the next news going from tonight's live show is Avalanche. Avalanche and Blockade announced a partnership to integrate Blockade's security features directly into Avalanche native wallet core. The security upgrade aims to prevent increasingly complex phishing scams and hacks plaguing decentralized finance by pre-scanning transactions against Blockade's database of known malicious threats and alerting the user before the transaction is signed and broadcasted, which is great. We need more things like this inside the crypto space. Obviously, Ripple has their own their own thing going on as well on the XRP ledger through Xamon wallets, where they're able to find out if it's a scammer before you send the transaction. This is all great. One, it gives that matureness to the crypto sector. It gives that securityness to the crypto sector, which lacks in some areas. And obviously, as the world goes more digital, hacking and scamming will get advanced, is what I've said previously. It definitely has. So it's good to see, essentially blockchains partnering up with security firms. It's great news. It's good news for their chain. It's good news for the crypto space. It makes it look more mature. More corporates feel safe entering the field. Blockade and Avalanche partnership. Blockade claims that securities has helped block 1.3 million attacks and is currently used to protect products offered by OpenSea. OpenSea uses Blockade, MetaMask, Zerion, Coinbase, and Rainbow, following the collaboration of Ava Labs' head consumer products at Akash. This collaboration, essentially, this is what is stated by AVAX. This collaboration with Blockade represents a significant step forward in providing users with security and control without compromising speed and ease of use. By integrating advanced security solutions into the core package, we ensure users can explore the Avalanche ecosystem beyond with peace of mind. Blockchain and security process. Security firms' officials explained that too many false positives are better than outcomes than losing scanning criteria and allowing malicious actors more gaps to exploit for illegal activities. In the cat and mouse game of cybersecurity, there is an evolving threat landscape where transactions must stay one step ahead. According to the cybersecurity expert Bernhead, malicious software like the notorious Angel Drainer could potentially penetrate the security layers provided by transactional simulators such as Blockade, WalletGuard, and Pocket Universe. Miller explained that Angel Drainer might avoid transaction simulators by dramatically creating an unsigned contract address and attempting to steal funds through these addresses, but these methods are not foolproof or guaranteed to succeed. The white hat hacker admitted Apologies. The white hat hacker admitted that his test using the dynamic unsigned method caused Blockade to flag transactions as suspicious and sent a warning alert. Apologies about that. Great news, again, honestly, for what essentially AVAX is doing. Great news for AVAX. By the way, JPMorgan is going to be using AVAX on a subnet green as well for tokenization purposes, so is Citibank. This was great because it keeps their partnerships going, essentially. But more projects should be following that. Definitely more projects. Now, Argentina. Argentina says yes to Cardano. Is the next news we're going to go through in tonight's live show. Argentina says yes to Cardano. That's a particular crypto project we rarely talk about on this live show because there's never much news about it. But now there is. And it's big news. Cardano and Argentina. And they're saying yes. Apparently. But before we go through that, let's go start the conversation. We were here. Yeah. What do you think about Adder, Matic, File? Are they going to move, or should I move to newer and similar projects? Chosen perfect timing because we're about to go through the Adder news. So is Cardano going to move? Well, possibility after this news. Matic It will move. File, it will move as well, but they need time. File, Matic, and other are not, quick projects in any sort of a way. They're much more long-term projects. Morning, have I missed out? Paul, good to see you. Yes, you have, but I'll do a gist at the end of the live shows. Now, Argentina. Argentina says yes to Cardano. This week marked a significant advancement in Argentina. Argentina embrace of blockchain technology as the Cardano Foundation partnered with Entre Rios, a central provenance. Argentina's crypto potential. This strategic alliance marks a turning point for both parties, with Cardano aiming to tango its way into a vibrant Argentinian crypto scene and Entre Rios seeking a skilled partner to lead the way in blockchain adoption. The official signing ceremony between Governor and Cardano's Rafael Frog caused a stir in the South American nation. Although the details of the partnerships are undisclosed, there is a widespread speculation. Industry insiders believe it could involve educational programs, fostering a development ecosystem, or even exploring pilot projects for government services on the Cardano blockchain. Government services on the Cardano blockchain. This move fits perfectly with Argentina's most crypto-friendly turn. President Javier, a vocal advocate for digital assets, has championed initiatives like legalizing cryptocurrency's use in contracts and collaborating with El Salvador to understand Bitcoin adoption. The Cardano partnership aligns with his vision, potentially providing Argentina with the technical expertise to establish itself as a regional blockchain hub for Cardano. The allure of Argentina is undeniable. The nation boasts a tech-savvy population and a government actively embracing crypto. This fertile ground presents a golden opportunity for Cardano to expand its footprint in Latin America, a region experiencing explosive blockchain growth. This is extremely bullish news for Cardano. If Cardano is able to get this signed and up and ready, it's extremely bullish news for Cardano. So in your question of what should I do with Cardano, what should I do with ADA, well, let's see how this contract goes. Because if Cardano is able to get this contract signed and moved forward, we're talking about Argentina. We're talking about essentially, Argentina. We're talking about Argentina government services. We're talking about Argentina, integrating Cardano into education systems, fostering in so many different ways. So yes, by the looks of it, this could have extreme potential for Cardano, extremely bullish for Cardano in that sense. But also, again, it's extremely bullish for the crypto section in general because it brings more eyes to the crypto space. All of these major partnerships, yes, they're obviously very, bullish for the particular crypto project that it's on. All these contracts that are coming out, or in this sense, a contract to be signed. But all these, essentially when you hear the news, Ripple partners with this company, or Cardano is about to do this, or this blockchain project has just done a major partnership. Yes, it's extremely bullish for that particular crypto project, but it also brings more eyes inside the crypto space, which is in general bullish for the entire space. But mostly bullish for the crypto project itself, but also brings a lot of eyes to the general. In terms of crypto sector, in terms of the corporate sector is what I'm talking about. It brings more eyes from the corporate sector inside the crypto sector, which is what we need. We need their money to advance and propel even higher. We need institutional money. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is Standard Chartered Bank. Standard Chartered predicts Bitcoin surge to $100,000. Now, a lot of executives have given out their perspectives, and we've went through a lot of executive perspectives on this live show of what Bitcoin will become and how much, of what Ethereum will become and how much due to the ETFs and so on. But they've all said, what essentially Bitcoin will become at the end of the year, or what Ethereum will become at the end of the year, or what they've all said $100,000 by the end of the year, or in year 2025 and so on. However, Standard Chartered Bank has given out a prediction of $100,000, but they're seeing it happen much more sooner. Now, Standard Chartered Bank is a massive British bank. Geoffrey Kendrick, head of Forex and digital asset research at Standard Chartered, predicts that the Bitcoin price could surge to $100,000 ahead of the US presidential election this November, is what their prediction is. Standard Chartered Bank's prediction, from their head of Forex and digital asset research at Standard Chartered Bank, said that he predicts that Bitcoin price could surge to $100,000 ahead of the US presidential election this November. In an email to the block, Kendrick elaborated on the factors driving this foster and offered a more detailed outlook for BTC price trajectory. If this happens, Bitcoin could surge to $100,000 by November. As we approach the US elections, I expect $100,000 to be reached and then $150,000 by the end of the year. In this case of Trump victory, Kendrick stated. He pointed at the current political climate and a recent regulatory decision, noting that Biden administration recently showed a prismatic in approving the spot Ether ETFs. And Biden vetoed efforts to repeal the SAB 121, so Trump is still more friendly than Biden. And so is Kennedy. Kendrick emphasized the potential impact of tomorrow's US non-farm payrolls data on BTC's price as well. That's coming out essentially today by the looks of it, because we're at 1:04 a.m. in London right now. He noted that the favorable data could trigger an all-time new high over the weekend, opening the way for $80,000 by the end of June for Bitcoin. He's basing all of this on tomorrow's US non-farm payrolls data that's about to be dropped. That's going to affect BTC's price. He noted that the favorable data could trigger a new all-time high over the weekend, opening the way for $80,000 by the end of June for BTC. If the data is friendly, I expect a fresh all-time high for Bitcoin's price to be reached over the weekend, he said. The analyst also reiterated his long-term price predictions, maintaining a year-end target of $150,000 and an end of 2025 forecast of $200,000 per BTC 2025 for $200,000. Notably, a $150,000 price by the end of 2024 would see Bitcoin join the $3 trillion club in terms of market cap, following Nevada's $3 trillion market cap, which was reached yesterday, Kendrick highlighted. 2 months ago, Standard Chartered released a research note offering a bullish outlook for Bitcoin and Ethereum by the end of 2024 and beyond. The bank's analysts projected Bitcoin could reach $150,000, while Ethereum could hit $8,000. These projections were bolstered by the launch of Bitcoin spot exchange traded funds ETFs in the United States, which have seen massive inflows. BlackRock has reached new milestones, $20 billion. Kendrick and Sui Cooper explained that rapid inflows to the new Bitcoin spot ETFs have dominated. Most of the inflows are likely to be sticking to pension-type flows, underscoring the newfound stability in BTC investment trends. Standard Chartered's bullish Bitcoin valuation is based on 3 pivotal analysts, first drawing parallels with the gold market's response to the introduction of US gold ETFs. The banks estimate BTC could rise to 200,000 level, marking a 4.3% increase in its pre-ETF price so far. Second, by optimizing a portfolio with 80% gold and 20% Bitcoin at current gold prices, the analysts suggest a Bitcoin level of around $190,000. Lastly, a liner exploration based on the correlation between ETF flows and BTC price points to possible $250,000 levels, assuming total ETF inflows around the bank's midpoint estimate of $75 billion. The bank noted that these measures suggest that $200,000 is the correct and end 2025 price level for BTC, and that is likely to be the new midpoint for sideways trading range at that time. The research further suggested that an overshoot to $250,000 is likely at some point in 2025 if the ETF inflows continue as space and or reserve managers buy BTC. So that is extremely bullish news regarding essentially Standard Chartered Bank saying that this could possibly happen. Now, is this going to happen, 100% guaranteed. Bitcoin reaching $100,000 according to Standard Chartered Bank's head of Forex and essentially digital assets. Is it going to reach it just because he said it? No. But can you consider it as one outcome? Sure, definitely, why not? Because you should always, as I've said previously, consider multiple outcomes. Going inside of any sort of market space, you should always consider multiple outcomes so you don't get surprised. So consider it an outcome, I would definitely have to say. But is it guaranteed to happen? No. But definitely consider it an outcome. Because this presidential election that's coming up is definitely going to spice up a lot of markets. Let's just be fairly honest with ourselves. It is Trump versus Biden. So the crypto space is definitely going to be reacting to everything they say. The markets will be heavily reacting to whatever they say. And then also, the market is 24 hours. So it's going to be reacting 24 hours to what they say. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is the American Securities Association. The American Securities Association is suing the SEC for lack of transparency. Before we go through that, let's go to the comment section first. Miles, how much longer before the start of the bull run and it will outperform previous bull run years? We're not that far off, but it is pending right now. Part 2 is pending. It's at a slow progress, mainly because of the road bumps. But a lot of things are brewing inside the corporate sector. So it's pending right now. It's very, very pending. I can see that happen, especially if the Ripple case is over. Gonna have Miles and CMF. Coin, see tomorrow sometimes as usual as well. But yeah, definitely. Especially if the Ripple case is over, yes, I would definitely see Bitcoin go to those levels. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Kamal. Now, the American Securities Association sues SEC over lack of transparency. The American Securities Association, ASA, has sued the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, over its enforcement actions and failure to comply with the Freedom of Information Act. The lawsuit stems from regulatory actions by the Commission with limited information given to the stakeholders. At the moment, consumers have criticized the Commission's lack of disclosure on social media spaces. The AMA sues the SEC. In a filing, the Securities Association seeks disclosures from the Commission on previous regulatory actions in which it imposed sanctions on. According to the court documents, the action is to compel the compliance with the Freedom of Information Act. In our democratic system, transparency is a two-way street. Federal law also demands transparency from the government. Under the Freedom of Information Act, the public is entitled to documents created by the federal agencies so people can learn about their government actions and policies. In 2021, the SEC investigated a broker deal retention of communications on personal devices. Scores of documents were provided to the financial regulator without suspension of breach of rules. This led to the SEC imposing billions of penalties without explanation on the decision-making process. The ASS sought answers regarding how penalties were calculated and why defendants were targeted. They noted that the regulator failed to comply with its obligations, citing previous SEC commissioners' comments on the penalty regime as a tool to generate end-of-year statistics and to enhance market integrity and drive investor protection. Regulator cites exceptions in response to the ASA's request for details under the Freedom of Information Act. The SEC pointed to the expansion of 7A, to the effect that documents may reasonably interfere with ongoing enforcement proceedings. However, the ASA seeks documents for settled proceedings, which is commissions cannot withhold the requested information. And even if the SEC could withhold documents on these grounds, it has fallen woefully short of its high burden to justify the withholdings. And it has provided nothing but general betrayal statements for refusing to comply with the ASA's FOI request they added. So, not only are essentially the House governors going after the SEC, they're trying to bring the CFTC in to share the SEC's responsibilities, but now we also have the ASA suing the SEC for not becoming compliant, for not showing transparency, for not showing transparency of why they're suing these particular, essentially, corporations, why they're suing these particular even platforms inside the crypto space in general. Why are you suing them? For what reasons? Why are you essentially making up regulations as you go along? And they're asking the SEC to provide them with some sort of details of exactly why you're going after them. Not based on what you think, but why is the reason on paper you're going after them. And the SEC is refusing to give them over. So they're being sued by the ASA now, the American Securities Association, under the Freedom Act. Now, the next news to go from tonight's live show is basically ACH. ACH has debuted a one-stop shop for rollout developments. ACH is an amazing crypto project with amazing contracts, amazing partnerships, and essentially a list of licensings. They're going to do great in the financial sector. Blockchain infrastructure designer ACH has launched a development kit rollup, centric innovation in the crypto ecosystem. ACH's introduction of ACH rollups represents a notable step forward in the crypto ecosystem. It will offer developers a comprehensive toolkit for rollup-centric developments and aim to streamline the process of developing, optimizing, launching, and growing Layer 2 blockchains with a focus on scale, speed, and cost efficiency. ACH is about to do some major changes on their own chain and some major changes to get more developers on board, to expand essentially their adoption rate, even for the retail section. According to the product lead moniker, ACH offerings affords developers the same battle-tested infrastructures that powers some of the most trusted networks in decentralized finance. Running a node is not that difficult. The part is doing it reliably and at a scale. Rollups, praised by Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik. Even Vitalik chimed in to essentially praise what ACH is doing as a crucial for scaling DeFi and improving DApp efficiencies, are designed to alleviate congestion on layer 1 networks. ACH rollups will initially integrate with Arbitrum and optimize stack OP frameworks. OP is what Base Network is based on. Developers can either leverage zero-knowledge ZK proofs or optimistic systems and provide rollup-centric chains. We plan to explore ZK frameworks, and Groda noted that providing innovators with the tools to build and launch their own chains unlocks monetization corridors for teams, ensuring creators have the financial runway to keep building. It also allows developers to customize decentralized solutions for product market fits and capture value. Today, we are thrilled to introduce rollups on ACH. Scaling solutions like rollups are essential to Ethereum's success in the long run, and ACH provides the most reliable, comprehensive rollup platform for developers building at any scale. This is amazing news for ACH. Amazing news, honestly, for ACH. Incredible news. The next news to go from tonight's live show is regarding sand. The metaverse is getting bigger and bigger. It might not look like it, but it is. The metaverse is getting bigger and bigger because yesterday I revealed to everybody that essentially IKEA. So everybody knows IKEA, the furniture store, the flat pack furniture store that you buy beds and cupboards and anything else you want, and you have to set it up yourself. And the menus, the pamphlets are always sometimes oddly to read and build the furniture yourself. But anyways, putting that to one side, IKEA got involved in the metaverse, and I revealed on this live show, where they built their own metaverse store. And they're going to be paying people £13 an hour, anybody from the UK or Ireland, to live in Roblox Metaverse IKEA as an employee. And you get paid £13 an hour as a wage to work in IKEA in the metaverse. So you sit on your living room couch, you put your metaverse glasses on, and you're an employee for IKEA. And you're selling pixelated furniture for £13 an hour. Real money. So the metaverse is getting bigger in a sense. It is something I said a long time ago, where everybody who loses their jobs will eventually be living in the metaverse, which is a very sad future ahead of us. But great for the projects if you're invested into them. So, as I said previously, would you rather be in the show or behind the scenes? Behind the scenes is if you're in the project, and in the show is for morons. who are going to be sitting there. Now, the Sandbox, but it is a great second income if anybody wants to go for it. But the Sandbox Ethereum game valued at $1 billion with new funding. The Sandbox and Ethereum Metaverse game platform announced that it has raised $20 million in convertible notes at a $1 billion valuation. That makes the long-term running project the latest crypto unicorn based on $1 billion valuation. The latest funding round was led by Kingsway Capital and Amico Brands, a prominent metaverse investment firm, is also the parent of the Sandbox operating company, Base Capital Global Limited, LG Tech Ventures, and True Global Ventures also participated in the round. They said, "We are deeply honored by continuing commitment to the vision of the Sandbox, and we're incredibly excited about the future of composable user-generated content games," said Aminico, essentially co-founder and executive chairman Yet Siri in a statement. With the new founding in tow, the Sandbox development team said that its key priorities include improving creator tools, adding new social and gameplay features, and developing a mobile version scheduled for 2025 for Sandbox. A Sandbox Metaverse game is coming in 2025 on iOS and Android. The Sandbox is one of the most prominent blockchain games, thanks to participations, thanks to partnerships with over 400 celebrities and brands including Snoop Dogg, Gucci, Paris Hilton, and previously immense demand for game land plots sold in NFTs. In fact, someone paid $450,000 worth of crypto for land plots near Snoop Dogg's Metaverse mansion in 2021. The game's Sand token on Ethereum remains one of the 100 most valuable cryptocurrencies in the world based on market cap per data on CoinGecko. Our mission at the Sandbox is to develop creative tools and technologies that brings fairness and new opportunities for all types of creators in the open metaverse, said the Sandbox co-founder and CEO Alfred Madrid in a release. So massive things are actually coming in the metaverse, and Sandbox is working on massive things as well by the looks of it. Where they're introducing an iOS and Android game, that's definitely going to propel Sandbox further on. But they're releasing in 2025, which means if you want to go for Sandbox in terms of research, this year is when you should be doing research before they make any sort of major movements. But they do have quite a lot of celebrities, quite a lot of partnerships, and they're raising more funds, and they're getting valued at $1 billion. And then in the future, a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs. It's already starting now. A lot of people losing their jobs to AI, but a lot more people will be losing their jobs to AI. And those people will most likely be living in the metaverse to make a wage, to pay their rent, to pay for their food, their real rent. Now, the next news, the reason why I mentioned the IKEA news that I revealed yesterday, where you can work in IKEA and get paid as a virtual employee to sell pixelated furniture. Well, another company, I said more companies will follow them in their own footsteps. Another company seems to be following what IKEA did. And this company is McDonald's. McDonald's has just launched its own metaverse. And NFT owners are VIPs. So remember, if you work in the pixelated IKEA as a virtual employee in the metaverse, you get paid £13 an hour. McDonald's has not revealed this regarding the pay of wages, but here is the thing. McDonald's Singapore has now essentially has its own metaverse world called My Happy Place. My Happy Place, offered through its official app in collaboration with Bandwagon Labs, people who own the official, essentially, backbone of it. Now, the NFT is launched in 2023, gets special perks in the digital locals in the metaverse game. The 3D online environment allows users to play games like Build a Burger. Envision future McDonald's restaurant designs and participate in daily contests offering real-life food deals and prizes through the Wheel of Deals fortune in a McDonald's metaverse. called My Happy Place. My Happy Place runs on Bandwagon's own BW Tech, rather than another metaverse platform or a game. Now, they said we're excited to launch McDonald's Singapore first digital experience. Our customers can dress their avatars in McDonald's outfits. You can become a McDonald's employee if you if you want. Design their dream restaurant and win daily rewards, elevating how they experience McDonald's, said during a senior director marketing and digital customer experience at the fast food giant in a release. McDonald's Singapore and Bandwagon Labs previously collaborated last year on a series of 2,000 NFTs based on a purple marketing character. Each was free to claim via the local McDonald's app and featured a randomized design, and a soulbound token also couldn't be traded after the mint via Ethereum scaling network Polygon. Now those holders will be able to access special features in the My Place thanks to a token gating feature. The NFT owners can unlock exclusive wearable items in the game, explore the secret island in the world, and display portraits of their NFTs in their future restaurants in the metaverse. Also in 2023, McDonald's Hong Kong launched a McNuggets Land. McDonald's with their creative names. So in 2023, Hong Kong launched McNuggets Land, and now McDonald's actual metaverse space is called My Happy Place. A limited time experience in the Ethereum metaverse game, the sandbox, the NFT, and the token rewards for players. But yeah, a lot more companies are going to be joining the metaverse by the looks of it. IKEA was correct. They have opened some sort of a floodgate of companies now announcing themselves re-entering the metaverse, essentially. IKEA did say, we might have just opened the floodgates when I revealed that news yesterday, where you can become an IKEA employee and get paid an hourly wage. But now you can become apparently either a manager inside of McDonald's or an employee of McDonald's in a virtual world called My Happy Place. And you get real, prizes in the real world. You get some rewards and so on, but in the real world. But yeah, IKEA did look like to open some floodgates, and the floodgates have opened because now here we go. I mean, we had IKEA yesterday, McDonald's today. We also had Netflix. Netflix is opening up their own theme park, a massive Disney type of theme park in the metaverse is what Netflix is doing. Which most likely they're going to be hiring employees, virtual employees, to live and essentially work as an employee in their theme park, a Netflix theme park. They're going to introduce all of their Netflix favorite TV show characters in their theme park and so on. And people can become an employee in Netflix's theme park. Look, these jobs are all there, first of all, as a second job or third job if you want to. Sit on your living room couch, put your metaverse glasses on, and live inside that space. Or these jobs are really created also for people that don't have cryptocurrencies. For people later on that lose their jobs due to AI, they're going to be living in the metaverse. 100% they're going to be living in the metaverse to pay their rent and pay their food and so on. So, it could be seen as a second job, honestly, for some people. If you're looking for a second job to sit at home and just do this, get paid hourly, why not? But if you have cryptocurrencies, your future is going to look well off better as time goes by, obviously, if you have legitimate crypto assets, not financial advice. But yeah, we have also reached the endings of tonight's live show as well. We talked about McDonald's and Metaverse entering together. We talked about Sandbox getting valued at $1 billion. We talked about ACH rolling out some new features that's going to grow their adoption rate in terms of the retail section and institutions. We talked about the American Securities and Association suing the SEC. We talked about on tonight's live show regarding Standard Chartered Bank prediction of $100,000 in November for Bitcoin. We talked about Argentina saying yes to Cardano. We talked about Avalanche and Blockade coming together essentially to secure Avalanche's net things that mature in this crypto sector. We on tonight's live show as well, exposing altcoins based on funds with staking rules, where Franklin Templeton is going to be excelling way above just Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're going to put a full exposure of essentially going into altcoins, which is massive. Franklin Templeton, $1.64 trillion assets under management. We talked about BlackRock involving blockchain technology even more by integrating into a blockchain company for their tokenization fund, which is extremely bullish for the entire crypto space and for more corporates coming inside the play. We talked about Kraken Exchange going to be raising $100 million. Kraken Exchange is about to go public. They're raising $100 million for their IPO. We talked about the ECB doing interest rate cuts straight after Canada's bank on tonight's live show. We talked about Telegram launching a stars payment system on their own blockchain, Toncoin. We talked about essentially Ripple's CLO questioning Gary Gensler on public, on X. How much of taxpayers' money have you spent so far is what the question was, which everybody wants to know of how much is wasted. We talked about US Treasury, how they're essentially talking about AI and what AI's capabilities are, how AI can help the financial system, is what the US Treasury was talking about. So regulations are on the way for that aspect. We talked about Bybit opening their doors to the Chinese market space. China might be looking to re-enter the crypto space. That is immensely bullish news. We also talked about essentially Pantoro investing $21 million into Menzo, which is pushing for Bitcoin DeFi and trying to expand and excel on the Bitcoin chain, trying to make it faster, cheaper, more scalable. We talked about JPMorgan giving their perspectives on Tether, how things aren't really looking good for them as we progress. We talked about the New York Attorney General going after 2 crypto platforms. We talked about Binance reopening their doors with MasterCard, which is amazingly bullish news. If you enjoyed this live show, I do this live show every single night on X Live, on YouTube Live, whatever you're watching this from. This live show starts 11:25 p.m. onwards UK time, 11:25 p.m. onwards UK time, every single night. Every single night you can tune into this live show on X or on YouTube Live. I talk about recent news that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, in terms of CBDCs, in terms of AI, in terms of regulations, things that you should know that expand your knowledge for being inside the crypto space. And we do Q&As as well, which means you ask the questions, I give the answers. If you're wondering who am I to be answering people's questions, well, I have a background in business, finance, tech, law, and cybersecurity. I'm also inside the corporate sector. I also own a blockchain startup company, and I have executives from Binance and MEXC and some other executives and VCs around me as well. And also acquaintances of the people that started the Graph project as well, some friendly developers. So I'm heavily inside the crypto sector, heavily inside the blockchain sector. So I can definitely give a perspective on pretty much anything to do with the blockchain sector. So if you enjoyed this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night. We also have a Telegram group as well, which is completely free for anybody to join. Everything I provide is completely free of source. I believe education should always remain free, so I will never charge you for anything. Everything I provide is completely free of source. You can tune into this live show and be more informed about the crypto space moving forward and give you confidence, essentially. Every single night for free. You can tune into the Telegram group as well. Amazing people. They're all inside the comment section. This live show is called the CMF, which stands for Crypto Mouse Family. This is CMF live show, and everybody inside of CMF is absolutely respectful, absolutely amazing to talk to inside the Telegram group as well. The link for the Telegram group is on my X profile or on my YouTube profile, depending on where you're watching this from. Before we go out, let's go inside the comment section first. Miles, did you not know that what you're doing in the US just sues everybody low? Sandbox is at 47 cents now, and it's Alton is $8. Let's go. So you can work on IKEA and then go to McDonald's for lunch. Stop it for lunch. Max, hi Miles, the top G. Max, how you doing? How you been? I'm surprised that you want to use AI to work in this place. Good night, all. Troy, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Miles is the top G. Let's go. Parker, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF. See you tomorrow. Mike, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF. Orphan, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Good night, Miles and all CMF. Thank you for all the news. Let's go, JP. JP, see you tomorrow, but at the same time as usual. Thanks, Miles. Appreciate your insights. Good day and night. All have a good weekend. Let's go, Shelly. See you tomorrow, same time as usual as well. I will see everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. CMF, see you tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world.